Ah, scenic Darktown, with its panoramic view of the ocean, conveniently located near all of Kirkwall's finest hotspots. Well, okay, if you want to be literal, I guess it's essentially Kirkwall's sewers that look out of the ocean, because this is where they used to vent all their refuse, or something. And yeah, it's essentially under Kirkwall, and if you can't make it in Lowtown, or find a spot to live anywhere else, then you come here. Or if you don't want to do all of your criminal activities under the guards' noses, you come here to kind of stay out of sight. I think that's how it goes.
Huh? Oh, Hawk. Haven't seen you since Mirren hired me for that Red Iron job. Been a while. Heard you're going on some expedition into the deep roads, and right into Darkspawn territory. Sure that's wise?
We can't all make a living in the Undercity.
Just watch your back. That's all I'm saying. Say, you still in the market for some poisons? The Red Iron's been scarce, and business has been a little slow. You find any rare reagents and want me to whip you up something, just let me know. In fact, since you're an old friend, here's a recipe. My speciality. Everyone needs an edge sometimes, right?
Now, I don't know if they used to use this essentially as a sewer or whatever, and slave housing at one point or whatever. I mean, we know we have the gallows, which are now a mage prison. Go ahead and just call it for what it is, but I guess that used to be slave prison also. So anyway, this is essentially used as a route to disappear for criminals, which seems like a majority of the Kirkwall population is. Either you're a noble and probably a criminal, but you hide behind a mask of, respectability, or you're just a straight-out thug, and if you need to get out of sight, then you come down here. People living down here just essentially have no other place to go. Some would even consider this worse than living, in a sense. But we have to come down here to go find this warden healer. Possibly has maps for the deep roads, and there's the back entrance to the family estate too, so we can knock out two birds with one stone while we're here.
Made this place a sanctum of healing and salvation. Why do you threaten it?
Strange occupation for a warden. Aren't you more about taint and death, not healing and salvation?
Did the warden send you to bring me back? I'm not going. Those bastards made me get rid of my cat. Poor Ser Pounce A Lot. He hated the deep roads.
Blight, Queller, Ser Pounce A Lot.
You had a cat named Ser Pounce A Lot in the deep roads.
He was a gift. A noble beast. Almost got ripped in half by a genlock once. He swatted the bugger on the nose. Drew blood too. The blighted warden said he made me too soft. I had to give him to a friend in Amaranthine.
So you came to Kirkwall just to escape the wardens?
You say that like it's a small thing. Yes, I'm here because there's no warden outpost, no Darkspawn, and a whole host of refugees to blend in with. And some reasons of my own.
I've always heard that joining the wardens is for life.
That's only partly true. The hopelessly tainted by the Darkspawn and plagued by nightmares about the archdemon parts don't go away. But it turns out, if you hide well, you don't have to wear the uniform or go to the parties.
I'm part of an expedition into the deep roads. Any information you have could save people's lives.
I will die a happy man if I never think about the blighted deep roads again. You can't imagine what I've come through to get here. I'm not interested. Although, a favor for a favor. Does that sound like a fair deal?
Uh-huh.
You help me, I'll help you.
Well, it depends.
Let's be more specific. I don't do anything involving children or animals.
I have a warden map of the depths in this area. but there's a price. I came to Kirkwall to aid a friend, a mage, a prisoner in the wretched gallows. The Templars learned of my plans to free him. Help me bring him safely past them, and you shall have your maps.
What do the Templars know of your plans?
I don't know. I had been exchanging notes with Carl through a maidservant in the gallows. Then the letters stopped coming.
You want to make your friend an apostate?
That's such a weighted term. Yes, Andraste said magic should serve man, not rule him. But I've yet to find a mage who wants to rule anything.
Then you haven't been looking.
It goes against no will of the Maker for mages to live as free as other men.
I doubt the Divine would agree with that.
The Divine is only a mouthpiece for the Chantry. The Maker does not speak through her. Never mind. I do not seek debate, only your aid.
What do the Templars know of your plans?
Then the letters stopped coming.
Tell me about your friend.
His name is Carl Queller. He was sent here from Ferelden when Kirkwall Circle required new talent. His last letter said the Knight Commander was turning the Circle into a prison. Mages are locked in their cells, refused appearances at court, made tranquil for the slightest crimes. I told him I would come.
Are these accusations true?
Ask any mage in Kirkwall. Over a dozen were made tranquil just this year. The more people you ask, the worse the rumors become.
You've convinced me. What's your plan?
I welcome your aid. I have already sent word for Carl to meet me in the Chantry tonight. Join us there, and we'll ensure that no matter who is with him, we all walk away free.
Yeah, Anders, he shows up here as a healer, helping the poor and afflicted, and that's awesome, but he may also be the worst thing that ever happened to anybody. A disease just waiting to infect something, but, yeah. We need the maps, and, we'll deal with him, and I guess we'll take him at face value for the time being. Alright, so, got that squared away. We need to meet him at the Chantry at night. I guess essentially is what he wants us to do. That'll mean going back to Hightown at nighttime, which it's a little bit different at nighttime. Streets become a bit more dangerous. Not much, though, but a little bit. Now down here, the streets can be dangerous day or night. Just roving bands of thugs and what have you. Some of them probably specifically hired to kill us, and then others just kill us just on general purposes, just for being down here, out of place, because they can, right? Okay, really need to be careful of archers. Starting to take hits, notice that? Really need to get out of here. And let Aveline get in here and do her thing. When she draws the hate, yeah, see, she gets their attention, now I can come in and do my thing. Nice. Oh, and look at these sickles. These hand axes, or whatever. Essentially a substitute for daggers. I really like the Daedalus daggers. I'm a big fan of the way they look. But these, I couldn't pass these up. My friend Randa, she has her channel, and I was watching her Let's Play, and saw her with these, and I said, oh, I have to have those. I have to have those. Those are too badass. And so I ordered the Rogue pack, and I was like, well, it's only like an extra $1 or $2 to order all the packs, so I did. And if you remember the last video, shoot, I had like I had a list longer than my inventory space of just stuff, you know. Bits of it I was able to pass out among my followers and stuff, though some things were specifically designed for my followers, you know, by name, like, you know, only they could use them. You know, like, well, a ring for Varric, or a belt for Varric, or something, and a ring for Bethany, and what have you. And there's a few items for other followers that I don't even have yet. Anders will be one. It's kind of obvious. He'll be joining along at some point, but right now we need to become buds first. But, alright, so let's go find out exactly what's going on with this whole inheritance thing. Bethany knows that Gamlen isn't telling us the whole story, and, well, Gambling's not capable of telling the truth, so you know that's just kind of goes to figure. But get in here, take a look, see if we can't find the will, some evidence that the inheritance maybe was mishandled by Gambling, to say the least. Gambling is most definitely a deadbeat. He just can't stay out of trouble. Drinks when he has no money on someone else's dime, incurring debts. Gambles when he has no money to gamble, incurring debts, and just any other way to possibly get in the hole. And some people just live like that. It seems like they're almost not comfortable unless they have the threat of insurmountable debt hanging over their head. And usually other people are left to foot the bill at some point because, well, if you don't have the money, somebody needs to pay your debts, or you're going to pay for it with your life, you know, at some point. How he's lived this long, nobody knows, you know. All right. If he's that worried about me, I can kite him a little bit. That'll work. Chase me if you want to. By the way, all my followers, they're destroying you. Just in case you didn't notice. Yeah, and when you don't have health potions, everybody tends to drop one. Very convenient how it works like that.
Mother described it, but this is the first time I've seen it.
There's going to be lots and lots of room for, you know, moral dilemmas, you know, decisions to be made, siding one way or the other, and it's often when you go to the voting booth, the problem you face at the voting booth is both candidates are rotten, you know, which is the best? Well, neither. But you know, if and you're in the situation that you have to vote for somebody, you know. Or just not vote at all, but the bottom line is somebody's going to get voted for. So in other words, whether you vote or not, one of these two, and if you think they're both evil, well, bottom line is still one of them's going to get the seat. One of them's going to take office. And it is what it is. And that's yeah, it's a catch-22, you know. Sometimes there is no lesser of two evils. Sometimes they're both equally rotten in the same and different ways. Sometimes that's just the reality of it, you know. That's life. And I think they pass a little bit of that along here, just a little bit. This seems to be going pretty smoothly. It is. Some of this DLC gear is helping a bit. I noticed these daggers don't have stats much better than just daggers, you know, that I might find anywhere else. In fact, there's one or two daggers that are available for me to get. That would probably be even a little better than these, statistically speaking, at least for the time being. Probably not a couple levels from now, but for right now. But as long as I can get by with these, this is cool. The build's really going to come into play more than anything. Once we start getting lots of passive bonuses stacked on our criticals and stuff. Each time you see their health bar flash, it means I'm pulling a critical. And those will start coming more often. They'll start doing a lot more damage. Maybe even one-shot a few of these smaller enemies and stuff. And when you can get to that point, it makes some of these fights a lot more manageable. What seems almost impossible becomes relatively just routine, I guess you could say. But this is our essentially first real boss battle, I guess. This mage, he doesn't have the red name. You know, he's not a boss. He has an extended health bar. But the thing is his support. That's where the challenge comes in. The cool thing about Explosive Strike is it's a it's I guess you could say, well, it's not near as good as Twin Fangs. Twin Fangs is pretty much good all the time, but Twin Fangs is what I call the poor man's Assassinate, essentially. Your version of Assassinate early on. Do good spike damage, but Explosive Strike does have some use in that you can build up essentially damage. It's like chain attacks, and it goes with the Unforgiving chain, which is your critical chance increases by like 1% per hit until you actually hit a critical, then the chain starts over. But you can break that chain in the middle with an Explosive Strike, and if somebody's, I think if they're paralyzed or frozen, something like that, then you can get a bunch of bonus damage. And cross-class combos in this game are just brutal, man. You'll cause enemies to explode. You'll take off huge chunks of health. Sometimes kill, you know, lieutenant and boss level enemies outright. If you get the right number of criticals. You know, if all the stars line up just right, and you pull off that one really sweet, tasty critical on a cross-class combo, you might, like I say, literally kill, you know, like a demon boss outright in one hit. It's pretty cool. But once again, it comes back to build. You know, it comes back to getting all your skills between all your party members lined up just right. All right, bunch of money there. Notice that? Nice stash.
This is it. Grandfather's will. Mother needs to see this as soon as possible.
How about right now?
We'll take it to her right now.
So I'm just saying, blood's blood and all, but you are taking advantage of my hospitality. It's only fair if you make something of a monthly contribution.
You sold my children into servitude. Now you're asking me to pay rent?
Maybe just put something towards food.
You should be paying us, Uncle. We found the will.
I gave you, Mother. Grandfather left you everything. Here, read it.
Well, it's not just bad, it's really bad.
I should maybe...
To my daughter Leandra, and all children born of her, the estate in Hightown and all associated revenues.
Check out the part where Gamlen is left only a stipend, to be controlled by you.
Gamlen, how could you?
You're the one who ran away, Leandra. What happened to love is so much more important than money.
Yeah, project it back on somebody else.
You didn't even come home for the funeral.
The twins were a week old.
We all have our burdens. Mine was looking after a life you abandoned. How long was I supposed to wait?
I doubt you let the ashes get cold.
I took care of Father. I stayed. And on his deathbed, all he could talk about was Leandra. Look, sister, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done it, but I did. And there's nothing I can do to get it back.
I don't expect that, Gamlen. It's enough to know Mother and Father didn't die angry.
Wow.
I'll petition the Viscount for rights to reclaim the estate. Make her willing, you'll have your house back within weeks.
And we'll be gone.
You don't have the coin or standing to even get an audience with the Viscount. You've got to be someone in this city to live in that house again.
Then I had better get started.
Yeah. That's how we think. We know how you think, dude. Loser for life by choice. It's your choice. It's how you choose to be. It's how you choose to think. And you'll never come out from under that as long as you think that way. Asshole.
Why don't you go pick up something at the market? You could use some air.
I love my sister.
Hey!
Awesome. Get out. Get out of your own house.
I can't believe Gamlen stole Mother's entire inheritance. I mean, I can believe it. That's the worst part. I could never turn against my own sister like that.
You're a better person than Gamlen could ever be.
Well, hopefully we'll be out of here soon. You know, when we went to look for that will, I thought we were doing it for Mother, for what she lost. I didn't realize how much it would mean to me. To know I had grandparents who didn't hate me.
I just didn't know you.
They might have been all right with the Ferelden thing. But just imagine if they'd known you were an apostate.
You're such a wretch.
What? What?
I was just hoping it would be different this time. Here in Kirkwall. We're not running away again. We're coming home.
Are you unhappy here?
I wish I could do more for Mother. Carver's death. It's killing her slowly every day. But maybe if we can reclaim some of what she lost, it will help. I'd do anything to get us back a normal life.
Why did Mother and Father work so hard to keep you from the Circle? Would it have been so bad?
I guess at first, I was just a little girl. They didn't want to lose me. And once I had learned anything, what would the Templars do to an active apostate, not just a mage-blood child? It changed their lives, your life, Carver's, all because of who I am. Sometimes I wonder if it would have been so bad to be with my own kind, to serve the Chantry as Andraste demands.
Are you unhappy here?
Oh, but I'd do anything to get us back a normal life.
What do you think Carver would have made of all this?
He would have hated this place. All the sneering nobles. He'd have gotten himself arrested the first day. And he would have wanted in on your Deep Roads expedition. Anything to make a name for himself. Sometimes I still can't believe he's gone.
Can you imagine if we'd grown up here? Been nobility?
Had grandparents who bought us all liege and silk dresses with lace petticoats. Father was a good man, but Mother gave up so much for him. Of course, if she hadn't worked up the nerve to elope, she probably wouldn't have been able to resist the Templars either. If we'd been born here, you'd be nothing more to me than a name the Circle kept in my file.
We're going to make this our home, Bethany. I promise you.
I hope so, sister. I'm so very tired of running.
Yeah, but if she'd have been born here, she'd be a different person probably, too. Probably wind up one of these bloodthirsty mages, you know. Slathering at the jaws, so to speak.
I think this is a picture of Mother. She looks like you.
Where did you get that? Was it at the estate? Let me see. Is it? I think this is Mother's betrothal portrait from when she was supposed to marry the Comte. Look! You can see the ring.
You like it?
I love it. My whole life, Mother's always been so sad and worried. All because of my cursed magic. I always wished there was some way to take that burden off her. It's nice to have a reminder of a time when she still knew how to smile.
Aww.
I hope Mother convinces the Viscount to give us the estate.
When I told your grandmother I was marrying your father, she threatened to disown me. She said my children would be mongrels. My father wanted to lock me in, but she told him it's her life, let her ruin it. I wrote to her when each of you were born. She never wrote back. I'm glad she didn't die hating me.
The estate is yours. Why are we still here?
Technically, the house is now property of the Viscount, since its owner died without an heir. If we went there now, we would just be squatters. But if the Viscount acknowledges our rights, we can get back more than the house. We can get back our name.
Grandmother didn't want you to leave. She tried holding on to you the only way she knew.
She would have been so proud of you. You're everything she wanted in an Amell grandchild. She might have had a hard time accepting it at first, but she would have loved you, all three of you. Carver. He was such a little boy. Never had a knee that wasn't scraped or trousers without holes.
The last thing Carver would want is more crying.
I just keep thinking there's something we could have done. It's killing me. I remember that awful creature reaching down and 18 years of loving and feeding and raising, and that was it.
At least you're past the it's all your fault thing.
I'm sorry, love. I was distraught. I never really believed that. It's just... I miss him. There were 4 of us when the Blight began. It will never be over while there are just 3. I've written to the Viscount. I've an audience for after Bartran's expedition leaves. I couldn't do anything for Carver, but with luck, I could at least give us a home.
Well, alright. Well, brought a little bit of closure to family, you know? All right, we'll go see what trouble we can get into on the next one. But thanks for watching. Want to subscribe, click that button up top. And if you want to watch more Dragon Age 2, then click that movie there in the middle. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.